Jeff joins us from Dove Valley as the Broncos are back to work. Boy, Jeff, it feels, and we were talking about it earlier, the more emotional the win, the more it seems to take out of you. It does feel, as they go from one emotional game to another, including England, that this might be an exhausted team right now. How do you think they're feeling overall as they get back to work against the Cowboys this week?
It's over the years, I think we've seen, there's always a bit of a hangover after an escape, after a regular escape, let alone a historical escape that, folks have never seen before at a Bronco game. So I think there is some impact to that. I will add, though, went a week ago at this time, I thought they looked, very normal, back to business type of practice. I didn't see any inkling, they would have any sort of physical dip coming in the Giants game or anything. And I didn't really see that today. But again, I always hesitate to make judgments about a 25-minute window, of practice.
Jeff, after a game like that, it's weird emotionally because it was so bad for so long, and then we watched a once-in-a-lifetime comeback. So I can't figure out what this team is. I really can't. I can't figure out if they're closer to being 7-0 or if they're closer to being 3-4. Where are you at on this football team right now?
That's a good point, Tyler. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but I think Monday when the players came in, historical comeback or not, I'm guessing that Monday meeting went as if they had lost in many ways, just because of the review that was done. I guess I always come down in that, the old Bill Parcells camp is you are what your record says. But I think the one quirk here is you look at the numbers against the teams that have succeeded in moving the ball, especially through the air against this defense. And you've got two different sets of games, really. And, here you go Sunday, you're going to play the offense that's first in the league in total offense and second in scoring offense, and Dak Prescott may be playing better than he ever has. So I think this game coming up speaks to a lot of what you're talking about. What are you? And, are you going to handle business or not? Because I think they're probably closer to 3-4 in my mind than 7-0.
Hey, in between the trips to your Disney Plus app, I know you watch a lot of film and everything. Can you pinpoint why the Broncos start so slow every week?
Yeah, for a team that says it spends so much time on the quote-unquote openers on the play sheet, man, they just are very, very sluggish. Again, I'm not sure they care at all. In fact, I know they don't care at all what I think, but I am a proponent of a little less 4-player substitutions every play and maybe just, locking in on a few things with a quarterback who's still in his second year. I still feel like they're calling games for a quarterback like in his 8th year as a starter. I don't see a lot of, and, I hate to call it a concession, but I just don't see a lot of sort of work being done to get Bo Nix comfortable early in games. And it looks more about how much variety they can show in those 15 to 20 plays and how much, they can tax a defense with the huge substitutions. And it does that. There's no question. It taxes a defense, but I think it's impacting the quarterback.
You could ask Sean Payton today about his Russell Wilson beef.
Of course we will. I mean, and he ran on the field. I don't know how you can be mad at Dre Greenlaw. You ran on the field all the way out past the hash marks.
Yeah.
During a game.
It's true.
So, now there's a lot to ask. I am very certain he will dismiss or try to dismiss as much of it as he can.
On the Drake Greenlaw deal, so he did appeal it. He lost his appeal.
Right.
The 1-game suspension is upheld. What were the magic words?
Right.
I'm not asking that you literally know, but that just did not seem suspension worthy to me.
You can't confront him. Yeah, and I think it's very key, and my understanding is it was the biggest key. The league did use the word threaten in the suspension notice. So when he received his letter, he was notified that he had threatened the referee, and I think that's the suspension. Maybe not the act.
What if Trey said, no, I didn't?
Well, I was going to say words do matter then. So is that where you're going? Like,
no, I'm going. Was there collaborating witness, or was it
right.
one referee said he said?
It's on video. I mean, it's on video.
I saw him talking to him, but I didn't say him saying, "I will kill you." That to me is a threat.
Well, I mean, a threat could be anything. We'll see you later this season. I mean, I don't know. You can say a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any scenario where a player can confront a referee leaving the field and not be punished.
Right.
So whether we think it's a suspension or not.
Yeah, I thought it'd be. Tyler and I talked yesterday. We thought it fine worthy. We're not so sure about suspension. And again, to me, it's just the NFL protecting bad officials.
Well, I mean, they're the most penalized, or the second most penalized team in the league. Are all the officials bad this year?
Oh, I ain't even talking about that. I don't care. No, that's bad coaching. You listen, Leggy,
I just think
I don't like officials. I don't care what league they are in.
The players know better. You can't confront the referee after the game. If you want to express your beef, do it publicly and take the fine, but you can't confront the referee after the game. To me, if you've got something to say and you make $3 million a year, take the $10,000 fine and say whatever you want.
Yeah, but Jeff, Scott hates referees.
Yeah, he missed that part.
So
yeah, and I think leagues protect them.
That's that.
Listen, if you can't threaten a referee or get questioned or get mad at him after games, then I think a referee should be made available for open interviews after games.
I agree with that. Having done 50 pool reports in my career, I certainly believe there should be more transparency with the officiating crew after games. I don't, they could even set a time limit in my mind. Say there's a 5-minute time limit to speak to the referee, but here he is.
Hey, Jeff, real quick, and we appreciate your time here. ESPN.com put out 25 guys that should be considered perhaps trade candidates. Anybody in this list that would make sense, in your opinion, for the Broncos to at least look at?
To acquire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I looked at it, and, I know the guys who put it together, and they do a good job. So I didn't see anybody that jumps off the page in terms that makes sense financially. And I mean, offensively, I don't think they get the ball to the people they have enough, let alone add somebody to the mix. I mean, you wouldn't have to trade for them, but I'd certainly see, or review Lockett. If I was their pro personnel department, I'd look at that video and see what you think. But offensively, I don't think they're getting the ball to their own playmakers. To add a few more to the mix would just make it more convoluted. I think teams will call them about McMillan. When I've asked around the league, everybody's looking for corners, and the Broncos are one of the few teams in the league with a surplus. But I think if it was up to the Broncos, they like having a surplus at one of the most difficult positions to fill anywhere.